Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of January. I hope you are using the crow for you today. If you celebrated over the holiday period, then I hope it all went well and was you were surrounded by people that you adore and whatnot. I know I was. So I think we've been doing these readings long enough now that you know how they work, so I'm not going to bother explaining them. Let's just get straight on with it. Could I have 3 cards for Leo's current energy, please? We have the Chariot in reverse. Ouch. We have the Queen of Wands. It's Aries energy. Can I have one more card for Leo, please? Whoa. And we have the Moon, which has slid out sideways, which is an interesting thing. That's 2 cards of Cancer we've got on the table now. But to support that, we have the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And the very first thing that I felt when I turned these cards over was there's more information that you don't have yet, Leo. This is quite strong. Now, this could be quite a depressing read, but for the fact that the Queen of Wands is sat right in the middle of it, right? Obviously, it's not Leo energy. We're not quite there yet, but it's Aries energy. It is fire energy, and it is there. It feels to me a bit, Leo, like you are getting your shit together, right? Putting things in order. Now, the reason that I cackled was that the Chariot is in reverse. In its upright, it talks about forward movement, right? It's a victorious kind of state of being. It's knowing exactly where you are going, and it's getting a move on. It's heading in that direction. When it comes up in the reverse, it's like hitting up against a brick wall, right? There is no movement whatsoever in this card here. No victory, no success, no idea of where you are going, no idea of what you are doing. It's basically a shit show, right? But this talks about balance. It's actually my card of shadow work too, interestingly enough. When it's in the upright, there is a moon on this card as well, which is quite unusual. You don't usually see that on Chariot cards. So you could say that you don't need to do any shadow work anymore. I don't think that's true, right? Not at all. Or that there are more depths to be plumbed by you. And I feel like, as I'm talking to you, that this is going to kind of unravel over the next wee while. I know that astrologically there's some sort of difficult, challenging, I'll put it that way, transit. Now, is it Pluto or is it Saturn? I feel like it's Saturn. There's a Saturn transit happening that is affecting Leos, but it might be Pluto as well. I don't know. Like, one day I'll actually get a good astrologer on here and ask them to come and talk to you about these and things, rather than these jumbled versions of it that I keep giving you. There isn't any movement, and you shouldn't expect there to be any movement at the moment. Like, you're in a state of being, there is no movement. But it's mitigated by this Queen of Wands. Like I said, she does feel like she's getting her shit together. I feel like you're looking at different ways of doing things, different ways of... It's not coping. Coping isn't what I'm feeling here at all. It's an adjustment. And it's been a long time coming, but it is now here. There is an adjustment to the circumstances that you find yourself in, albeit that they are not moving at the pace that you would like to, or even moving at all. But nevertheless, there's an adjustment and an acceptance of that. I don't feel you trying to force anything. I feel, in fact, a lot of what you're doing is focusing on the small stuff at the moment, right? The big stuff is a shit show. It's not happening as you want, but instead it's like, okay, well, I can't do anything about that. What can I do about this instead? And that's the right way to go about it. With the way that the energy is presenting, I do feel like that's the right way. This Moon card is really quite interesting, because this way up it talks about things that are hidden and that are needing to be revealed. When it comes up in the reverse, it's those things being revealed, but it came up halfway between the two for you, which means that there is a sense, and I think Leos are greatly what's the word I'm looking for, underestimated intuitives. There is a sense that something is coming, something that will be revealed, some very subtle indication that movement is coming. And I feel like you're more buoyed up by that than you would have credited yourself being capable of 6 months ago. There's no obvious movement forwards, and yet there's this sense that it's coming. There's a sense that something is going to be revealed. And this Page of Swords does talk about new information coming to you as well. Not quite as fast as you would get with the Knight. But it could also talk about this change in mindset that you have now. Because we do have the Ten of Cups sitting behind it. There is a change in mindset. You're far more grateful for the things that you have. There's no indication of there being a kind of Five of Cups here, and it's just like, I don't have this thing and I need this thing. You know, there's no Five of Pentacles here either. Or in fact, no fives at all. We've got, in fact, 2 major arcana cards that are saying soon, but not yet. And I feel like you feel that, Leo. I feel like you can feel that starting to brew. But rather than getting carried away with yourself about it, you're like, well, I've still got all of these little things that I need to sort out, so I'm going to go over here and do those things while all of this works itself out. Tell me about them, please. We have the Hierophant in reverse. And we have the King of Wands. That is interesting. So we have a card here that talks about balance, which is the Six of Pentacles, right? It's the thing that's missing in the Chariot. You are finding a way to balance yourself in very unbalanced, unstable circumstances. And we have yet more instability being indicated here. Like I said, the moon is that sense, it's that intuitive sense that you have that there is something new that is coming to light very soon. Some sniff of a new path that you are headed down. Like, let's not forget that we have got some challenging astrological stuff going on over the next, I think it's till the end of February, actually. And it could feel a little bit like you are pushing water uphill with a fork. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. But somewhere in the midst of this, Leo, you are finding yourself. We've got the King and the Queen here now. So obviously Leo is the King of Wands. But in order to be the culmination of the suit properly, it needs to have both the feminine and the masculine, that's feminine there, and the masculine energies present. That is proper balance right there. And that's coming. It's not here yet. You can't take action yet. The action comes with the King. But this is a card of destabilization. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure how much more unstable my Leo circumstances could actually be, but apparently they are going to be a bit more unstable. But what I like about this is it's come out with the King. It feels like it's by your hand. So what you have accustomed yourself to, which is, you know, being you and finding who Leo is in the midst of all the chaos when everything is going wrong, like how you maintain this. Oh, fuck me. I just noticed that the moon is underneath there as well, right? So it's appearing twice in your reading. How you function when everything isn't going exactly as you planned, right? It's balance, but it's also fluidity. It's trusting that there is a plan, right? And I think that we've all come kind of full circle on that one over the last year for sure. But there is a point coming where you are going to destabilize yourself. You are going to uproot everything that you have built for yourself, Leo. I know I sound a bit dramatic. Fucking Mercury's in Leo as well, right? I can't help myself. It just happens. But this feels like it's through a process of renewal. Right, we've got more of a phoenix energy going on here with this. Like, I don't see you doing things the way that you have always done them, even if the way that you've always done things has led to, at points, success and victory. This feels like a full do-over going on here, Leo. And it's quite dramatic, but it's not time yet. And when it is time, you'll know. Ooh, right, tell me about the lesson. What is the lesson here? Where's the perspective for Leo? What's going on? What has been taught to Leo in this time? Thank you. We have the Lover's card. Conscious co-creation. It's a card of decision making, but not, you know, should I have, I don't know, Thai food or Indian for a takeaway. It's the act of stepping up and making the decision in the first place. Sometimes it doesn't matter what decision you make, as long as you make a decision at all, you know. Thank you. We have the Four of Cups. No, we don't. We have the Six of Cups. Beg your pardon. My numerals back to front. And we have the Five of Wands. Now, that's more chaos. So, I hate to say it, Leo, that is more chaos. But we've got the Ace of Pentacles underneath here. And I don't think that this is the kind of chaos that is going to piss you off. I think that this is the kind of chaos that you've been waiting for a long time. You know, the Ace of Pentacles is... whoa. My brain just stopped there altogether. Just hit a brick wall. The Ace of Pentacles is a seed that contains everything in the Pentacles soon, right? It's all contained within here. It's an opportunity to plant a seed. It can indicate money sometimes, but it's rarely just money landing in your lap. You know, it's usually more like an opportunity to make the money that you need. But it can be a new job, it can be a new house, it can be all of these kind of things, right? It's an opportunity to change your material circumstances in some way. But it's not just going to drop into your lap. That's what I heard here. It's coming by way of a consciously chosen chaos. I mean, to be honest, the Hierophant in reverse and the Five of Wands here are very much hand in hand in terms of uprooting something. Now, whether you are uprooting yourself, whether you are changing jobs, whether you are, you know, relocating, I don't know at this point. It's going to be different for each of you. But there's definitely a sense of something being shed here, Leo. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm clarifying the Lover's card and I've got the Ace of Cups. You know, for some of you, it's been a process of getting yourself to a place where you could accept somebody coming in, right? The terms under which a good relationship will occur. Something like that. You know, it's less to do with the person who is involved and more to do with what was going on inside of you. And that's certainly borne out by the fact that we have the Temperance card and the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Now that's Scorpio and Sagittarius respectively. But as energies, this is about emotional maturation. This is about finding your temperance, finding your balance, finding your moderation, and particularly with regard to the way that you conduct your relationships, filling your own cup first and then filling those of the people around you that you care about afterwards. But this feels like choosing you, Leo, you know. Done a number of videos on the shadow recently. I'll link them at the end here. But, you know, I did a video for you last year that was called, like, the shadow is a slippery fish. When we're working with the shadow, there are some things that are really, really obvious, right? They're those big, heavy hitters. And you're like, well, holy shit, you know, I had an abusive childhood. That's why I am X, Y, Z, you know. But when you get to a certain point and you're digging, it becomes very slippery, right? And it takes, you know, that consistent moral effort to be able to keep digging when you think you've found all of the answers. Just keep going a little bit more, because I think there are some ways, Leo, that you still have struggled to enforce boundaries, well, to know what your boundaries should be altogether, to be honest. But then having put some up, you know, kind of really sticking by those and enforcing those. And I think that your relationship with yourself has been, there's been a challenge recently, over the last year. I really do. Tell me about this Lover's card, please. Yeah, Four of Wands. There's something new being created here, Leo, and it's in you. Now, if you are aware that there is some last bits of work to be done, I would not shy away from those at this point, because it feels like it's a very necessary precondition that you've dealt with those things before you can move on. In fact, yeah, like we've got the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck there. There is more work to be done. There's all sorts of things just bombing into my head right now, and I think I'm going to save those for the monthlies. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. But the message is, you know, very clearly, that your relationship with yourself is the thing that needs the greatest work at this time. So even if you think you've done all of your shadow work, well, newsflash, you haven't, because nobody ever does all of their shadow work, right? That would be literally impossible, I think. Even if you think you've done it all, dig a little bit more, because there is more stuff that is waiting to come to light within you, for sure. Now, the other card that we've got is the Six of Cups here, or wrongly identified as the Four of Cups for me initially. I literally got the numerals the wrong way around. I don't know what's wrong with me. And this is a card of the past. Now, although I haven't set out to do a 9-card spread, that is effectively, or a 9-position spread, that is effectively what goes on here when I do these mid-month lesson videos. To it then, this becomes that which the entire reading is circulating around, because it's card position number 5. And it's all about your past, Leo. Yeah. Like, we've got the Death card and we've got the Knight of Wands appearing here. Now, this is Scorpio and Sagittarius energy respectively, but the Death card is important because there's something being asked of you, and that is the transformation of your story. That, yeah, thank you. It's changing the narrative. Now, you've done a lot of this work already, I know that you have, and yet still there are some sticky bits that remain, and you're not quite sure how to deal with those, but you are being asked to be very present with them at this time. Allow your shadow to speak, because it's got some stuff to say. Okay, we've got these two characters on horseback here, you know, approaching each other. There's about to be a big fucking clash in the middle. Not because they're fighting or anything, but it's almost like your attention is being drawn to something that now needs to be released, needs to be let go, so that you can welcome in the new things that are trying to occur for you here. Now, we've got the Ace of Cups and we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is amazing. We've got the Death card, which is also amazing. I think a lot of signs have had aces. I mean, I know it's January and everything, but it's always a surprise. You know, and if this Saturn transit is doing anything, it is drawing your attention to where the work still needs to be done. So the fact that you're focusing on the small things at the moment, Leo, is important in your external environment, but it's also important in your internal environment too. And if you can find the space to be quiet and allow these things to kind of bubble to the surface as they want to. I mean, to be honest, I feel like they're just going to kind of go... There's going to be some sort of clash here, because we've got this Five of Wands and we've got these two characters headed straight towards each other. It might well be that there is somebody else who kind of does something that triggers the shit out of you, and that's what brings all of this up to the surface. Tell me about this Five of Wands, please. I need to know about the Five of Wands. Six of Cups again, and the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, look. And there's the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck, with the Justice card and the High Priestess all sitting there looking directly at you. I'm not saying this because I'm like, next 6 weeks are going to be horrible, because this reading's only for the next 2 weeks anyway, right? Or thereabouts, 2-3 weeks. More it is to ask you to prepare for the fact that you are probably going to get triggered quite hard by something fairly soon. And that's okay. In fact, that's a good thing. We've got the Six of Cups is appearing twice here for you, and we have conflict with this Five of Wands, but I don't feel like that conflict is outside of you. I think it is showing you where you are in conflict with yourself, where you are in active opposition to the things that you actually want to achieve with your life, you know, the self-sabotage, where you are holding yourself back. Because the other card is the Queen of Pentacles, the Capricorn card of self-care here, you know. Where are you punishing yourself? Where do you feel like you're not good enough? Where do you need to stop judging yourself and actually bring some justice to this situation, to this heartbreak that you are feeling? Right here. There's the Justice card. There's the High Priestess. She knows. Leo, you know. You might not know the exact nature of it, but I feel like it's what is waiting to come up for you. It's almost like you can smell it coming, and you're like, oh shit, you know, this is going to be interesting, but but it will. Because at this point, it is the thing that is holding you back. You have aces, you've got new starts coming, but you are not moving anywhere in any direction at any kind of speed until you address the ways that you're holding yourself back. Now, let's get 3 cards of advice to close this out. This is very interesting, right? Got some cards of advice for Leo, please. Thank you. Yeah, the World and the Knight of Cups. That's a really nice combination there, particularly with, you know, regard to what we've literally just been talking about. 2 more cards of advice for Leo, please. Thank you. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, that's beautiful. It's the Sun. The very last card is the Sun. Look at that. 6 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Again, like, that's twice that's appeared too. Maintaining your level is really important, Leo. And, you know, watch your emotions at this time, because they are going to be the greatest signpost that you can use to see, you know, what is being illuminated here within you. It's the most thorough one for me. Like, when I have a really strong reaction to something, I catch myself and I'm like, whoa, stop a second. Why do I feel like this? What is going on here in front of me, right? Don't give it an opportunity to blow up into something ridiculous. If you can just take a second to analyze yourself first, interrogate that feeling and work out where it's coming from, because we've got the World card there, which I really like, because it does indicate that you are coming to the end of a cycle. I don't think that you're there yet. This has been quite a unexpectedly challenging 12 months for you. But we've got the Knight of Cups. We've got you emerging from it with your cup intact, and probably more intact than you came into 2021 with, to be honest. Maybe it's a whole new cup altogether, actually. No, I'm looking at it. We've got white horses fucking everywhere. And the red horse for the Knight of Wands. There's movement here. It may not be as fast as you would like. but it's going in the right direction, and it's going at the right speed for you at this time, right? There's a lot needs to be balanced out within you before you go any further. The Nine of Wands is a card of resilience. It's a card of good boundaries. It's a card of making sure that you have absorbed all of the lessons that are being presented to you before you try and break out of, you know, whatever restriction you feel like you're trapped in at this point. And then we've got the Sun. It's another white horse right there, you know. The Sun is the card of Leo, and it's a card of unalloyed positivity, right? It's a card of joy. It's also a card of children too. And given the fact that the Six of Cups has appeared twice here, I don't think that we're talking about just your past. I think that we're talking about your childhood. And what may be coming up here for you is some inner child work, which I kind of lump in with shadow work, because I do feel like they are so closely related that they can't really be pulled apart. But even here on this Nine of Wands, there is that sun at the back of the card there. It might just be momentarily obscured by the cloud that is in front of it, but it is there nonetheless. It's peeking through. I think the next few weeks are going to be challenging, but if you can, like I said, take that time to observe yourself, observe your emotions, and catch yourself when you're just before you're about to go nuclear, I think that you could get a lot of answers to the questions that you've been asking for a long time. It's a purge, Leo. It's what it is. There's a purge coming. And gird your loins and all that. But on the other side of it, everything's going to feel a lot better. Right. Thank you for your patience in waiting for me. Have my unending gratitude and all of that. But I really needed to do those shadow videos. It was important. It was made very clear to me that it was very important. So thank you for giving me the space to do that. I very much appreciate it. Know that I love you all very, very much. And I will see you soon.